Let's get the rest of the way to mux4. You can see I still have mux and mux2, but now I've defined a signal type 4 that is a cable containing 4 bits, and I've given myself a couple of helper functions. One's called split4. It takes a 4-bit cable and repackages it as two 2-bit cables, and splat4, which goes the other way around. We've just been moving the square brackets around, but keeping the same signals. Now, here is the declaration of mux4. It takes a control bit and two 4-bit cables, and it gives us back whichever 4-bit cable has been selected. How shall we make the definition? Here's what I suggest. Let's pinch mux2. Change the name to mux4, and my plan is to use two mux2s pretty much as we built mux2 from two muxes. Now, mux2 will give me cables with 2 bits in each, so packing them up as a cable of cables doesn't quite give us a 4. That's what splat4 is doing. It takes 2 bits out of each cable and makes one cable from all 4. Now we have to do the same sort of thing to get our inputs x0 and y0, x1 and y1. What we actually do is we just don't even bother to look inside the input 4-bit cables, and instead we split x0 and x1 from x, and we split y0 and y1 from y. So it's the same pattern, except that we're using helper functions to do the splitting up and repackaging, but it's the same idea. Use two muxes with the same control to build a mux that's twice as wide. Let's see if that's all right. Good. Mux4 is defined. Now, mux4 has an enormous number of possible inputs, so it's a very bad idea to do a single syrup experiment that looks at all 512 possibilities with 9 bits. So syrup also lets us do a more selective experiment. We can say that I want to experiment with mux4, and I want to give it the inputs 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, and 1, 1, 0, 0. So one control bit and 2 cables. So I'm just trying one experiment. If I hit send, I get that the result of that experiment is indeed selecting what was in the cable on the left. And if I want to do more than one experiment, I can give a sequence of things to try just by separating them with semicolons. So the idea is that these are the experiments to be done in a sequence in time. If I hit send, you'll see that at time 0 we try the first experiment and we get the cable on the left, and at time 1 we try the second experiment and we get the cable on the right. Let's do one more for luck. I'll swap my inputs around, but keep selecting the one on the right. Let's hit send, and now we have an experiment at time 0, an experiment at time 1, and an experiment at time 2, and they all get the right answer.